Welcome back. Sorry. Welcome back to the Milk is Damn Good podcast. I am the milkman, you could call it. Kyle Webb. We're back. We are back. You know what? I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit. There we go. We're back. All right. And right now it is November 4th, day after the election. So you know what that means? We're talking politics. I'm kidding. That's not good. I would lose half of my subscribers. That'd bring me down to 4, I think that is. So yeah, we're back and I'm very sorry. It's been since late June since I've uploaded. I got another episode in the bag that I recorded early August, but it was more of I'd call it a therapy session. And basically, yeah, I was just like, I don't know what it was, just like a heart to heart by myself, but to all my friends. Like I was just like listing all the positives about my friends. I was basically just a little snowflake fairy. But sorry, Snapchat. Yeah. I don't know when this is. I'm gonna try to get this out next week. Next week, maybe next weekend, about mid-November. But anyways, I guess happy Halloween to whoever out there celebrated Halloween. I know probably you guys all got pretty wild. And that's why I'm here to record an episode. Is because it wasn't necessarily my Halloween day, but the dreaded day was October 30th. So basically, I was supposed to go to UNC Charlotte to party pretty much. Basically, the plan was get there what I thought was Halloween, Saturday. Get there Saturday and party with at my sister's place. And then when I'm done, go spend the night at my buddy Connor's. You guys all know Connor, the editor. Shout out to him. And then Connor and I were just going to have a chill day the next day, Sunday, watch football, whatever. But then, so Friday came around and it was legit like 4 o'clock. It was getting pretty late, and I get a snap from Claire saying, "Are you still coming?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow night." She's like, "The party's tonight." And I was like, "Huh?" What? Was not even ready. I was in Statesville, and yeah, so I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." So, I just automatically am not in a good mood. So, I start packing my stuff, start rushing down there. Stop by Mooresville, get my costume, which was literally a homemade, quote unquote, lumberjack costume. It was literally my jorts, which, by the way, were like a size 26 waist. So not only could I not even button them up, I could not zip them up. So I was just rocking, fly down, button down. It was beer gut hanging out. It was not pretty. It was not a pretty sight to whoever saw me that night. And then I basically shaved my whole face except for a mustache. Thought that was going to be funny. Just made me look more pathetic. And then what'd I do? Oh, and then I put on I put on a cut-off flannel that I had. I cut the sleeves off a flannel, and then my big flannel jacket that I had on top of it for warmth to survive the frigid 60-degree temperatures of Charlotte at night. Yeah. So I get all my shit together, and I start heading out. I Stop by Chick-fil-A, the goods. Get some Chick-fil-A action. And then I'm on my way down there. All right. I had to text Connor. I was like, well, my party's tonight, so I got to come down now. And it actually worked out great because the parties he was going to were Friday night also, and he wasn't going to do anything Saturday. So I was like, all right, sweet. We can just have an extra chill day Saturday. So I get down there, and I get to Connor's. I pull up, he has to come out and show me where to park. It was all freaking maze, which is going to come back into play later on in the story. But we pull in the parking garage, and I have to go all the way to like the third or fourth level. And I was like, oh my God. And keep in mind, his apartment is on the first floor. So I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. This can't be good. But, sorry. I just saw something on my phone. I'm sorry. Connor, you're going to have to edit that out. I saw boobies. All right. I'm going to be honest. I saw boobies on my phone, so... what are you going to do? Hop that! Yep. Some things never get old. There goes my subscribers. But, woo-wee. I get there. So this was the thing. When Connor's walking me, he was a very nice gentleman. He grabbed pretty much all my stuff. It was great. And he was walking me to his apartment. And keep in mind, he's trying to tell me this. He's like telling me we're catching up. We're shooting the shit on the way to his apartment. And I'm not listening to one single thing he's telling me. Because the only thing that's going on in my mind is, am I in Maze Runner right now? I'm not kidding. We walked for probably half a mile. And I thought we just walked in 3 complete circles. And he was just like, no, we just walked like half a circle. And I was like, Jesus, holy moly. So we get to his apartment. I kind of just get comfortable, chillaxing. And, we get our costumes on. And then, Claire's party starts at 8, and Connor left at like 9 to 9:30, I want to say. So it's 8 o'clock, and I'm not ready to go yet because I didn't want to leave Connor. And since I was not paying attention to the route to my car to his apartment and all from point A to point B, I was like, Connor, you might need to walk me out, like at least to the parking garage. And so I waited to leave with him, but then we around 9 o'clock hits, and this kid is like, yo, you want a hit of that good? A little doinky action? And I was like, I was hesitant at first. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to show up to a party completely sober. So why not? And that, my friends, was the beginning to my downfall. The beginning to my demise. I might call that the night of my demise was pretty much might be the name of this podcast. But I take a baby hit. Okay? And keep in mind, this is a Jeep. Okay? So I take the hit. All right? And then, it was literally going to be take the hit, walk out. Hit the road. Not even 2 minutes later, I'm like, ugh. And I'm just minding my own business. And then Connor's like, dude, are you already that high? And I was like, what? I just looked in the mirror. And then I look again. It was not looking good, boys. It wasn't looking good for me. It was not looking healthy. Keep in mind, Connor's buddy Joe, he came in and took like 2 or 3 hits before they left. And I was like, holy smokes, kid. I took like one. They said I took half a hit, but I was like, come on, give me a little more credit here. So I'm starting to not feel good. Like I'm just my body is slower than my mind, or my mind is body, or oh, I'm already high. My mind is slower than my body's slower than my mind. And I was like, you know what? Oh yeah, and they invited me to go pregame with them. But I wasn't going to drink because I wanted to go see Claire. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to cop a squat on the couch, let this high kind of run its course, and then when I'm hitting the tail end of it, I'll head out. And they're like, all right. So oh, by the way, when the night was over at around 3 a.m., I went in my notes in my phone and typed everything that I could remember about this night. So, took a hit at around 9 p.m. Everyone left. Yep, I decided I was too high to drive. So I stayed at the apartment, put on, oh God, who was on? Maryland. Like it matters. I don't remember the teams. Maryland and somebody. Was watching a college football game. And so I'm sitting there, and I don't know if it was fear. I guess it was a little bit of anxiety because I was in an unfamiliar environment when I was high. Because keep in mind, every time I've smoked, I'm with my friends. My same friends too, not even different people. And so, yeah, I watched the game for about an hour. It got to a point where I said, "Fuck this! I'm not going out." I undressed, got in my sweats, and was just gonna sit there until Connor got back. And Connor said he was gonna get back at like 2 to 3 a.m. And I was like, "Well, I'll be asleep by then." So I'm sitting on the couch, just getting in my own thoughts, which was the worst ever. Shout out to all you potheads. That's not nice. I'm not gonna call you potheads. CBD users who do it by themselves. I could never. So about an hour passes by. It's about 10 p.m. Claire's like, "Where are you?" And I was straight up with her. I was like, "Look, I'm high as a kite right now. I'm not fit to drive." And she's like, "Well, we can get Jessica, her roommate, and her boyfriend to come get you." And then I was freaking out at that point. I was just like, "Claire, I don't know where I am." Because at this point, like trying to backtrack to like my drive here and going through town, I was like, I just can't remember anything. But I think that was more the anxiety in me. And keep in mind, gonna get a little serious here, I have suffered with some depression and anxiety in the past. I mean, mostly everybody does, and trust me, mental health is very serious, in my opinion, because there's some things that have happened in my life that have triggered it. I'm not going to go into that right now. Probably won't ever. But I've seen therapies. I've seen therapists. What therapy? What's the plural of that? I've seen a therapist. But yeah, it got to the point. It started in like third grade when I moved here. It was like I missed like 10 days of school at one point just because I was making myself sick to my stomach. Just of the anxiety and depression, and it was just terrible. But anyway, back to the story. So I tell Claire, I'm like, "Look, I'm really high." Oh, the game was Minnesota and Maryland. I am so glad I wrote it down. Minnesota, Maryland. I was thinking Minnesota was going to wipe them. Don't remember the score. Don't know why I'm overthinking it. But about an hour goes by. 10 o'clock, 10:30, around there. I say, after I take a couple snaps, for those on my private story on Snap, you'll know what I'm talking about. Ooh, yeah, I looked back at it and I was like, wow, that kid's not healthy. So I say, fuck it. Let's man the fuck up. Let's get up, get dressed, get back in my tight ass jorts that were taking my breath away by the minute. And we can tough through this. All right, it's been an hour. I still don't know how long highs usually go through, but you know what? It is what it is. So Connor left me his roommate's key because him and his roommate were going to be together the whole night. So I was like, all right, bet. Made sure I got everything I needed, some candy for Claire and her friends, the key. I grabbed a water bottle with me because I didn't know how much. Because, when you smoke, you get that bad taste in your mouth and you always want to drink. And that was the goal. I thought drinking a lot would wash away the high, I guess. But, so I shut the door. I don't lock it. Don't know why. I was an idiot. And so to my right, you see a lobby area. And I was like, all right, bet. This is easy. But I remember walking a whole bunch of ways. And then to my left is a hallway that kind of goes down left to right. It hits a turn. But I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the lobby. I'm making my way to the lobby. And then just my luck, it's my luck. Just a big 6'4", 260 cop, police officer is just stationed right in the lobby, just ready to take me down, ready to release his canine unit if he had to. So I was like, nope, fuck this, I'm going home. So I walk back towards Connor's apartment, and the anxiety hits. I walked out of his apartment not remembering what room number it was. So I was like, oh shit, this is not good. So I start texting him. And of course, he's an hour into partying, so he's not picking up his phone. He's probably already knee deep in some chick's. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm texting Connor off the hook. I'm like, yo, what room number is it? I think I locked myself out. Keep in mind, this kid didn't respond for, I thought it was 2 hours, but apparently it was only 30 minutes. So I do the worst. I had the general area of where his apartment was, but I didn't know the exact room number. So I did worst possible mistake. I just start wandering around. I'm like, let's go the other way through this hallway. Maybe I'll find the parking garage. I'm not kidding you guys. I walked on the same floor for 2 hours. I was so lost. Once I turned a corner, I was gone. It was so bad. I started calling people, started texting Ollie, hoping he would know. He's like, dude, I've never been there. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, holy shit, please. Please, God. And I remember Connor saying that he was either second or third. He was on the third floor in pre-gaming at Joe's apartment. So I was like, if I can just find an elevator, but then I'd find Joe's apartment. So I eventually find the elevator, okay? And actually, hold on, backtrack. I find the elevator, But in the same room of the elevator, or a elevator, of course there's multiple elevators, but I found the one that leads to the parking garage. So like there's a parking garage and then there's like a middle room, like in The Martian, when you got to walk into that room to like get all the oxygen in and then walk into the actual premises. It's kind of like how this was. Like the parking garage was outer space. This little room with the elevator was oxygen room, and then boom, our apartment complex is oxygenated room. So I find that and I peek out. I'm on the first floor, and I peek out to the parking garage, and there's this big door, this big like garage door that leads up to the other floors of the garage parking lot, of the parking garage. And of course there's a security guard there, and I was like, oh, fuck me. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just take the elevator and get out there. So I take the elevator, and idiot me, I could have just gone right to the truck, but no, I thought I was still too high to drive, which I probably was. So I was like, let me go look for Joe's apartment. And I'm looking, I'm like, fuck this, I can't find it. And then sure enough, can't find the elevator again. Do some more roaming around. And then I find the stairs. So I just tumble my way down the stairs. I didn't fall. But just freaking out, walking down the stairs, back to the first floor. And then Connor finally texts back, responds back with his room number. So I was like, oh my, thank God. So I scurry back to his apartment. Got there, kind of gathered my thoughts. I was like, you can do this, Kyle. And I was like, all right, let's go. So I'm just desperately trying to find the parking garage again. And I'm like, this is just physically impossible. I can't do this. And then I call Connor, and I'm like, dude, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like, I can't find the parking garage. And I don't know if you guys have ever had to endure this, but receiving directions from a drunk person is like learning sign language in one day. I'm not kidding. It's physically impossible, is what I'm trying to say. The kid is like, the kid is talking to me like I'm a Navy SEAL. He's like, all right, walk out of the apartment, turn left, hug the right wall, and then you will reach your destination. Army crawl, tuck and roll, flippity-doo-dah-day. And I was like, holy shit. Anxiety is to the max right now. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Oh yeah, basically, the only thought in my mind when walking these halls for 2 hours was that, I swear to God, this is like Maze Runner, where every like hour or so or something, the walls shift, and then I'm in a different spot or something. It was, I want to meet the son of a bitch that built that motherfucker, that designed that motherfucker, and I just want to spit in his face, because he's a real piece of shit, knowing, you know what, yeah, knowing that this whole complex is just going to be filled with drunk kids, and they're going to find their place easily. Shout out to the people who live there, like, for the first week. Oh my God, I don't know how you guys did it, but it was terrible. It was terrible, I gotta say. So I call Connor, and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna meet you there. And of course, as I hang up with him, I find it. And so I was like, nope, you're good. Get back to your dick sucking, whatever you're doing. And so, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to, all right, so I found my truck finally. And I drive, but this is the best part. I don't know how I forgot this. So, remember how I said on the first floor of the parking garage, there's these big, like, garage doors with a security guard? Well, I reached the doors finally, which, by the way, Took me a good 10 minutes to get down there because I realized I was just driving laps on the third floor. But you know what? Shit happens. Shit happens. But I get down to the first floor and I pull up to it. Keep in mind, my high ass, just with the squinty eyes and all, but paranoid, is I got my clicker that Connor left me, his roommate's clicker, and I'm just pointing it like fucking Click, Adam Sandler and Click, just pointing at the thing, just spamming the button, hoping to God that this thing would just raise up for me to just get out of there. Because keep in mind, this whole time, I just feel like I'm trapped there. I'm like, I can't get out. And so, as I'm doing this, cars are just coming in through the entranceway. And as every time the entrance door opens, the guard is taking a glance at me. And he's looking at me every time. It's more of a, is this guy fucking stupid? What is this guy doing? So I'm pointing, and then finally he's like, "Hey, dickhead!" He didn't say dickhead. He's like, "Hey, pull up." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Pull up," and I was like, "I'm gonna hit the thing." And so I slowly pull up, and then I hit something which felt like a big third grader. I was like, "Holy shit! I killed somebody!" But once I hit that thing, the thing shot right up, and I was like, "Thank you so much!" And I umi-zoomied out of there, Team Umi-Zoomi. And I got out of there. I got to Claire's, all right? Drove to Claire's. Hold on, let me find in my notes real quick. Very sorry. Found parking garage, got in truck safely. Keep in mind, I typed all this when I was still just like very anxious and high. So grammar in this is not good. So, first thing that it says here when I got to Claire's was, got there absolutely terrible. So, I'm out there. I'm outside her door. I'm contemplating on just getting back in my truck and going home, or facing... Oh, God, I need water. Sorry. Or facing my fears and just going in there. And I was like, I'll do it. I text Claire I'm here, and then I knock on the door. She opens the door. A heat wave hits me. And I was like, this is not good. This is not going to be good for me. So I walk in. Everybody's already plastered. All right. And there's strobe lights everywhere. Disco lights, whatever. I vividly remember it. And I was like, oh my God, this is not good. Everybody was getting in my face. They were like, "Hey Kyle, how's it going? This is Fartsologist and Philip and Heidi Klum." And I don't know what I'm saying, but it really wasn't good. And I don't remember this douchebag's name, but he was just the sprinkle of anxiety on my night. As I'm trying to talk to Claire and Jessica, I got this douchebag in my ear. In my face. This kid's about to kiss me at this point. He's just like... the kid is blackout. I mean, it is scary how drunk this dude was. And he's just telling me how I need to join a gang or something and go to prison with him. And then earn my ranks up in prison. And I'm like... What is this dickhead doing? Can somebody get this guy? Get their mans. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm going to go to prison now. This kid expects me to, I don't know if I'm going to get Shawshanked in there or something. If he's going to come out and make me drop the soap. God knows what. But first thing I said to Claire was, "I'm so sorry, I'm so high." And she was like, "It is what it is. It's Halloween weekend." Or Halloween, whatever the fuck it's called. And so she was like, "You need anything? You want a shot?" And I was like, that is the last thing I need. And so I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? And then I remember, good old Meepy Moo. my sister's cat. I've been dying to see the cat. I was like, oh my god, I need my meepy moo. Meepy moo. Sorry. So I go in my sister's room and I go in there like, meepy moo. And I look up and there's about 8 bitches in there, all in their slutty outfits, just huddled in my sister's room. Not even around the cat, just huddled in there talking. And I thought I was the antisocial one. I was like, the fuck? And they just looked at me at first. And I don't know why I did this, but my first initial reaction was like, I walked into a dressing room or something, like a female locker room or something. And I covered my eyes and I was like, oh, sorry. And they were like, what? And Claire was like, oh, this is Kyle. And then she started introducing me to everybody, and I was just like, I didn't really get a good look at all of them. I bet there was some cute ones, but I'm sorry. The only one I saw was this one, busty. She must have gotten there with a chest cold because her chest was awfully swollen, if you know what I mean. Knee slapper. Not funny. So I'm like, okay, I'm not good. So Claire and Jessica start trying to talk to me, and Jessica's boyfriend. And they're looking at me and they're like, you're not good to drive. How did you get here? And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not drunk. I think it's okay to drive high. Yeah. And so, yeah, they're trying to convince me to stay, but there's like so many people there and it's hot. I'm about to pass out. I feel like the whole night I felt like I was about to pass out. And I was like, I'm not kidding. I was there for maybe 10 minutes. And I told Claire, I was like, Claire, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. I'm about to freak out. That's what I told her. I was like, I'm about to freak out. And she was like, just stay the night. Just stay in my room. I can kick all those girls out. And looking back at it, that was definitely the decision. I really should have done that. And so, because I've been to my sister's apartment and I was familiar, and I was like, well, nah. So I don't know why. I guess I was afraid of a parking ticket, but I was already in visitors, so sucks. I walk back to so I leave, and I'm just like, Claire, I'm so sorry. Walking out, I walk through everybody's like Instagram photo shoots. Everybody's taking turns for pics for Instagram, and I'm just walking through them all, just like. Keep in mind how ridiculous I must have looked with my stupid mustache, my Bubba Gump fishing shrimp company hat, my flannels, double flanneled up, and I was just wearing my Ultra Boost, and my jorts with my gut hanging out of the zipper and button. So basically, I'm walking outside. I FaceTime Ollie, and because I'm needing some kind of moral support here. I'm needing help, physical, professional, emotional, something. And he answers, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And he's like, yo, are you still high? And I was like, Ollie, I am so high. And then I see that he's with Carly. And Ollie, if you're listening to this, you lying sack of shit. He told me that he was working all weekend. Which, I mean, I guess Friday. No, Friday night's not the weekend. Fuck you. Sorry, I keep belching. Maybe I might throw up on this podcast. But yeah. So we're talking it out, and I mean, despite all the beef with Carly, she chimes in. She's always been good at helping out situations. She is a doll, I gotta admit. Sorry, Connor. I know you don't want to hear that, but your ex has always been a very supporting one. So I FaceTime them and I'm just talking to them how bad it was. And then Ollie asked if the bud I had that I smoked was yellow. And I was like, you know what? I didn't get a good look at it because Connor made it, lit it, and I was like, oh, here we go. And I took the hit. So so I drive back to the parking garage and I drive back to Connor's. And this was easily the highlight of the night. I'm not kidding. So I get back to the parking garage and the same security guard is there. I pull up. He tells me to roll down my window. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to jail. Good night, everybody. Because I'm still physically, like, you can physically see how high I am. So I get there. He tells me to roll down my window. And he says, hey, man, yeah, he was like, hey, are you a new resident here? And I said, nah, man, my friend left me his key. I'm just visiting. And I said a very shaky voice. My voice was I was so nervous. And he was like, yeah, man, you just click the button when you're entering and then you roll up on the ramp when you're exiting, the motion sensor and all. And I was like, got it. Thank you so much. And then he looked at me and he said, keep in mind, this guy's probably in his 20s. He looks pretty young. And the guy says, dude, you're high as hell. And I said, yeah, it's bad. That's all I say. I just say, yeah, it's bad. And then he was just like, all right, have a good night. Be safe. And I was like, thank you so much. I said, thank you so much. So I roll in. And at this point, all the parking spots are taken. I was like, oh my God. So I literally went to like the 4th or 5th level. I don't know. His stupid complex didn't even have the levels labeled for high asses like me. And yeah, so I get back. I somehow, this was actually the most impressive thing throughout the night. I parked my truck. I parked I parked that bitch backwards next to a Hummer, a big ass Hummer who was taking up most of the space. And I got out, looked at it, and I was like, damn, I'm good. And then I get my shit, waddle back to the, I waddle to the elevator. Because keep in mind, I'm on the 4th or 5th floor. I don't remember. So I get in there, and I get in the elevator. And there's people in there, and I was like, oh, great. Gotta do more social work here. I gotta talk to people. So I was just like keeping my head down, just like, please don't talk to me. And this dude next to me, he says, hey man, how's your night going? And I lift my head up, just look at him straight in the eye, and I said, it could go a lot better. and he says, whoa, dude. And I said, yeah, it's not good. And he said, anyway, man, I like your outfit, man. And I was like, thanks, man. He was like, I like the jorts, man. And I was like, thanks, man. We're just going back and forth. Well, actually, we weren't going back and forth. He was just throwing these compliments at me. I was loving it. He was like, I love the stash, too. I wish I could grow a stash. But this guy, he had no room to compliment me. I'm looking like, I'm not even dressed up. It looks like I just came straight out of fucking Cherokee County, Georgia, you know? Woodstock, Georgia. 1456 Town Harbor Lane, Woodstock, Georgia 30189. Where's my 770 gang at? Sorry. But I look at the dude, I give him an up and down. This guy was wearing like those white Miami pants, you know? Like Miami Vice, like, you know, like Al Pacino or something. I don't know. That's not Miami, but whatever. You get my drift. So, and he's wearing a button down, halfway unbuttoned all the way, like a leopard shirt, iced out. Dude had a gold bracelet, gold watch, gold rings, and gold earrings, and some really nice sunglasses. And I just told him, I said, dude, not gonna lie, you look like you're straight out of Miami. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And then my floor hit, and I was like, y'all have a good one. And he was like, thanks, man, you too. And I get to wherever, to the first floor, and I start doing my walking. Start at this point, it's around 1 a.m. So keep in mind, I didn't get to Claire's until basically probably 12:30. So that means from 10 to 12, yeah, 2 hours, I was just roaming the complex, trying to find my way out of this bitch. And so I start trying to walk my way again. I know where this kid's room number is finally, so I'm like, holy shit, I'm going there. I'm going to throw on another game, get in my jams, maybe play some Xbox, but hopefully just crash, and hopefully this anxiety is just going to leave me. So, hold on. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to take my hood off. That's much better. Okay. So, basically, I do my roaming, and coinkadink, Miami guy. I cross paths with him again. And I was like, shit, do I say something? Fuck, I don't know. I'm really antisocial. And I'm just like, oh. And we get to about 3 feet away from each other, and he says, hey, man, have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. And if I could go back and hug that man, you don't know how bad I needed a hug that night. I just said, thank you so much, man. You too. And that one wasn't all nervous, shaky. Like, I was just like, thank you so much, man. That means a lot. And so we part ways. I find my way back to Connor's apartment. And, I totally forgot a part. I'm so sorry. Backtrack to when not necessarily locked out because I didn't lock the door, but when I forgot his apartment number, I was an idiot and went to the general area that I thought was his room was in, and I just got the key and I just started turning locks. Just started going down the hall, turning locks. And of course I'd listen in first to hear if somebody was in there, because if somebody was in there, I was like, most likely that's not his place unless his roommate's in there. And so looking back at that, I should be in jail. But yeah, okay, back forward. I find his apartment. I left it unlocked all night. So stupid. I'm a terrible house guest. Don't invite me anywhere, people. So I get in. I'm like, oh, thank God. I chug my water. And at this point, keep in mind, I haven't eaten anything since my Chick-fil-A I got on the way there, which was around 5. And at this point, it's 1:30. So, you know when, of course, when you smoke, you get the munchies. So I was like, holy shit, I need some food in me. That's probably why the high was there for fucking 5 hours. So, sorry. Hold on, let me pull up my notes just to see if I'm forgetting anything. Yep, dude said you're baked. Yep. I'm really sorry. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so that's it. Yeah. So I grab, what was it, Ruffles, or yeah, these off-brand Ruffles chips, which tasted so good at the time. But this was the scary part. I'm sitting down watching sports, trying to get my mind off everything. But as I'm eating a chip, I'm starting to forget how to swallow. like fucking dementia hits or something. Fucking, as I said in the 2005 old timers disease, which we all know is Alzheimer's disease. Yeah, thought I was getting old timers disease. I think I'm losing my fucking voice. Holy shit, I'm not used to talking. Yeah, oh, fuck. We're good now. So, I'm starting to, like, forget how to swallow. And I'm like, what is going on? So, I'm, like, freaking out. I'm, like, drinking and eating. And I didn't eat a lot, which was really bad. I'm trying to find something more substantial to eat. And, of course, it's college. These kids, all they got is snacks, cereal, and booze. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to bed. So I stay up for like another hour, writing in my notes how my night went and all, texting. I called my buddy Christian. You guys all know Christian. I called him and told him how the whole night went, and he's just dying at this point. And at least I think he was. This probably wasn't even worth telling you guys, but I say, you know what? It's fucking 2 a.m. Connor's not here yet. I'm getting in his bed. Fuck him. Put my AirPods in. Brush my teeth, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. And then I get in his bed and I go through TikTok, and then that's usually what I do at night. That's my nightly routine is I go through TikTok, and then when my eyes get tired, I throw on a podcast. Any type, really. I like more of a comedic podcast. I know, which is not what you would think to fall asleep to, but it helps me get my mind off more serious things that have happened that day or something. Just helps me get my mind off it. Voice crack. All right, I'm 13. So yeah, I throw on a podcast with my AirPods in, and I go to bed. 3 a.m. hits. Basically, Connor keeps calling me. Prior to 3 a.m., sorry. So I get in bed, Connor calls me. And I was acting like he woke me up, which, I mean, I was super tired, and I was just like, this night's been terrible. I just want to go to bed. Let's have a better day tomorrow. And the kid calls me, and he's like, yo, go to CVS and get me some rubbers. And I was like, no? Which, looking back, if I was sober, I would have completely done it. You know what? Maybe not. Just because I'm an old man when it comes to my sleep. You know, I love going to bed early. By early, I mean like midnight. What time is it actually now? Oh my god. It's only 7:40. But, yeah, so basically, he calls me asking to go get him protection, thinking this kid is gonna bring home a nice broad, a nice Dutch. And I said, Connor, I'm not doing it. He's like, fuck you. And then he's like, can you come get me then? And I was like, Connor, I'm really not fit to drive. I can't. I should have just told him I've been drinking. That would have done it. But no, this kid, you gotta give him an A for effort. He was trying. He was not giving up. And he got what he wanted. And so he was like, at least come back to the parking garage and open up the door for us. And I was like, oh my God. Or no, he said, yeah, toss me the key fob that they need to get into the parking garage. So I get up, and while I'm still on the phone with him, and I look, and Joe, his buddy, is just on the couch where I was, like prior to being in his bed. He was just in there, and I was like, hey, what's up, dude? He was like, hey, and I was like, fucking Connor wants me to fucking give him the key and all. And I was like, I don't know this place. And the poor Joe, he was drunk too. He was out of it. He was just like, dude, just tell him he has it on his phone. And that really grinded my gears. I was like, this kid has had his key on his phone the whole time? And I was like, oh. So I was like, yeah, Connor, fuck you. You got the key on your phone. And he was like, it doesn't work for the parking garage. Which, in his defense, it doesn't. So I was going to go try to be a good friend. And keep in mind, this took probably another 10 minutes of me trying to find the parking garage. This place is a nightmare, I'm telling you. I find it. Their car pulls up. I don't give them the key. I just press it for them. And they're sitting there lollygagging. This wasn't my fault, by the way. They're sitting there lollygagging. And I open it for them. It stays open. And then they start driving up slowly. And then right when their hood gets over the door just starts coming down fast. And I was like, oh! And I start spamming the button again, and it starts going up again. And I was just like, go, go, go! And yeah, they got in safely, no damage to their vehicle. And then I was like, fuck this. I go back to their apartment, put their key back on the counter. Joe is schlumped by that time. So I get back in there, and I'm just put my podcast back on, back in bed. And then, about 10, 20 minutes later, the door opens, and a lot of voices. It's Connor and lots of friends that he brought back. And he barges in, he's like, yo, Kyle, come smoke with us. And I was like, that's the last thing I want to do. Holy shit. I'm about to throw up if you say smoke. And he was like, come on, stop being such a pussy. It'll get your mind off it. It'll make you more tired to fall asleep. But it was, at this point, it wasn't even my high. I don't think it was my anxiety, which now thinking I probably should have, but this is the thing about me, guys, is I'm a socially awkward fuck. I can't talk to girls. Yeah, that's basically the sum of it. I can't talk to girls. So, and there were some cute girls there. And actually, two of them walked into his room while I was in bed to go use, like, his bathroom. And I was like, well, I mean, they could have cuddled me, and then maybe I'd come out or something. I don't know. But, sorry. This is I'm in my recliner. But, yeah. He's in there trying to convince me, and I'm just like, Connor, I'm not coming out. And then he finally respected it and was like, all right, fine. I'll see you tomorrow. So he nicely shuts my door, or his door, I should say. And I proceed to go to sleep at 3 to 4 a.m. And throughout this, like, I can hear them in the background. And I was like half asleep throughout the night. And it was like around 5 to 6 a.m. I want to say that I heard silence. So I was like, all right. Next morning, I wake up. I still feel like I'm high. It's not good. Like, so at this point, I'm scared. I'm like, holy shit, this fucking bud was laced. I'm never smoking again. Fuck this. So I chug water. I hop in his shower. I take a nice hot shower. And cold. I've been doing that lately. Put it to freezing cold at the end of the shower. Kind of, give me more energy. And I get out, I get dressed, and I go out there, and the place is fucking wrecked. There is mud everywhere. There's some random dude on his couch. Nobody's there. Connor's not there. I was like, what the fuck? It was just me and this random dude passed out. He was laying under my sweatpants that I took off. I was like, oh, great. And so then literally like 2 minutes later, his roommate walks in, and I was like, "Oh, thank God." I was kind of just talking to him a little bit, but the bad thing is I was kind of scared to talk because my anxiety was just through the roof at this point. Guys, my anxiety was so bad at this point. Like, it was like in fourth grade bad. Like, oh, like I don't even like talking about it. But basically, he was like, "Yo, is Connor here?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "You think he's at Joe's?" And he was like, "All right, we can go check." So he wakes up the dude on the couch, and they go back to Joe's. And we knock on Joe's door, and we're like, "Yo, is Connor here?" And he's like, "No, I don't know where he is." And so Connor's not picking up. At this point, it's like 11:30, and I was like, "That's it. I'm out of here." So I go back to Connor's. I pack up my shit, and I just tell his roommate, I'm like, "Look, just tell him I went to my sister's." But really, I was driving all the way back home, 30 minutes back home, 25, whatever the fuck it is. So I get in my truck. I walk back to my truck, which was parked perfectly in reverse. So astonished about that. But yeah, drove home, and like the scary part was I don't remember the drive home. Like, I mean, of course I remember driving home, but like I don't remember little details. But I remember sweating and just freaking out. It was so bad. And then I got home. I had to tell my mom about it because like I tell my mom everything. So I was like, "Look, I smoked there, and I just freaked out. I had panic attacks all night. It was just not good. I was by myself all night." And so I went back into my room, and I got there at around 12:30. I ate lunch, which was so good. Oh my God, my mom made me a nice big sub. Oh, it put me to sleep. Ate that bitch at around 1:30, went to sleep, woke up at around 6:30. So I was like, "Well, there's my sleep I needed." And this is kind of the scary part about it. It's not really ended on a good note, but I stayed in bed for the next 3 days because my anxiety was so bad. Like, I just, I just wanted, I was just freaking out. Like I was just like thinking about it. Like, if I can't be that social in that setting, like, I'm never gonna be able to talk to girls. Like, yeah, I know. If any girls are listening to this right now, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, what a fucking loser. Like, what the fuck? I'm never gonna let this guy eat my cookie." That's gross. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just really bad anxiety these past few days. And it was up until yesterday, November 3rd. I came back to my dad's, and he could tell something was wrong with me, and he was telling me to go vote and all. And I went and voted, and I came back, and he was like, "Hey man, what's going on with you?" And this was probably the best thing that could have happened when you have anxiety or something, is when somebody asks you how you're doing. I just broke. I just started crying. Oh, like somebody ran over my freaking dogs. It was terrible. Just crying, and he was like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" I was like, "You fucking snowflake!" He wasn't like that. He's very supportive of that, but sorry. But yeah, I was just telling him what all happened, and yeah, it was good. So yeah, holy shit, this took an hour. Yeah, so recorded this November 4th. Hopefully I can get this up at around the following weekend. So not this weekend, but the next. What is that? November 15th. Yeah, around 13 through 15. Hopefully I can get it uploaded with Connor. So yeah, that's my story of you would think smoking would cure your anxiety, but I'm just not ready for that shit yet. Yeah, so let me know if you guys want more. I'm really sorry again. I guess I'll do more update videos, like how my summer went and all. I'll probably do that with Christian, Connor, and Ollie next week. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm glad I got to tell this story. I'm freaking starving. I'm gonna go get some din din. But yeah. I hope all y'all have a good day. And yeah, peace out.